Emmalynn.
I'm Jessica.
We are back today with a mini library book haul, as in library sale. We didn't go to the library. Yeah, Friends of the Library sale. Also, our library has this really cool thing. I don't know if I've ever seen it before, but they just have a big bookshelf as soon as you walk in, and every book on the shelf is $1, and it's just an honor system. So I have a few books from that, and then they have the library sale today, so we thought we would just...
We stood in line in the rain.
Show you what we got. Yeah.
It was pouring down rain.
And
Not
props
really.
to
It was
us,
sprinkling.
we bought books at the sale. All the books were $1. Then we went to Barnes & Noble and Half Price Books, and we bought nothing.
Nothing. And we didn't know Half Price Books outlet was having a thing today where you buy, or you fill a bag, a tote bag, and it's $25. Like, you just stuff it full and it's $25. But we went in there, it was way too crowded, it had a really funky odor going on, and so we were like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
So we didn't really peruse the shelves too
But it's
much.
okay. We'll say it was because we have such great self-control.
It had nothing to do with the smell or the amount of people, not at all.
No. I will go first because, as usual, I have more. Which I don't know what that says about me. But first up, I have the first two Shadowhunter books in the old holographic, crusty, dusty,
Which these are the versions
nostalgic.
that I used to have that I read when they
I
came
can't
out.
believe you got rid of them.
I mean, they're just so beautiful. Who could?
Yeah. Especially that there's a quote, well, not a quote, a blurb on the front of every book.
And the chest of the people.
Yeah, which ruins the cover to see that there's a blurb that says, hold on tight for a smart, sexy thrill ride. I'm like, okay. Anyways.
That kind of makes me, like, that would make me not want to read it.
Right, but I know about these. And I prefer the other spines, sneak peek, the black and white ones. But for $1 each, I've never read a Cassandra Clare book before. I know these, like, are kind of not the favorite within all her books, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. All I know is that we follow some girl.
Clary.
What an interesting name.
Yeah.
And she's a shadow hunter and they kill demons.
Yep.
And it sounds like a good time, a good summer fantasy read to me. Just so easy to fly through, and I imagine it's not too hard to process. But,
okay.
Yeah.
The first book I picked up is The Girl in His Shadow by Audrey Blake. This book is, like, in mint condition. It doesn't even look like... I mean, it looks completely brand new. But I think this second book in this series just came out. But anyways, this is about a young girl who is orphaned during Victorian times, and she is adopted by a surgeon, and he kind of, like, trains her up in... to the medical field, but he has to keep it a secret because women back in Victorian times were not doctors. And so she's like his assistant, but secretly, and she's brilliant at her job, but then the doctor who raises her gets an additional assistant, and so they kind of have to pretend like she's a true lady to, you know, keep her from getting into trouble. And then eventually something happens, she makes a discovery, and so she's kind of faced with, like, am I going to let someone else take credit for my work because I'm a woman and I'm not supposed to be in this medical field, or am I just going to say, like, who cares? I did this. So, anyways, I think this will be really interesting. I love anything set in Victorian times and, you know, girl power and all that kind of stuff, so... The Girl in His Shadow.
Okay, next we have book 5 in the Shadowhunter.
So we skipped around.
The Mortal Instruments, not the Shadowhunter world. That is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Oh, that is the same as that.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to fill in the gaps of
Yes,
those.
we do. I need 3 and 4. But why does this look like Austin Butler? Am I wrong? Like, when he's in Disney Channel.
It does.
Which... I was obsessed with the movie he was in Disney Channel. But anyways, I just noticed that. But I saw this at the Friends of the Library sale, and I bought these books a few days prior, and I was like, okay, for $1, I can be okay with not having the rest of the books right now. And so, again, the holographic ugly cover.
Situation.
It's okay, though, because at least it shows their faces this time. But, yeah, I just started reading the back. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is the final book.
Don't do that. Okay, let's see. I picked up The Martian by Andy Weir. I've seen this movie a dozen times probably, and I absolutely love it. I love Matt Damon in this movie. Actually, I love all the characters in this movie were casted really well. Lots of famous people. But I've never read anything by Andy Weir, and so I really want to read this to kind of like dabble into his work, because I've seen the movie so many times I should be able to like visualize what's happening. But I've heard like the comedy in this is really good, just like Mark Watney's humor while he's stranded on Mars, and his like inner dialogue is really humorous. So I'm excited to pick this up, and then I want to read, what's the one that everyone talks about? His newest one? Oh, Hail Mary.
Yes.
I want to read that too. I just know what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay, to break up the Shadowhunter world, I got The Haunting of Hill House. And all I know about this is 4 people go to this house, and they kind of have to deal with all the weird things going on. And honestly, I saw this show was on Netflix. I think this past fall I wanted to watch it. But I really want to read the book first. And
it's so short.
It's so short, and I'm telling myself I'm going to read a classic book.
We're trying to come in our classics era.
Yeah. I recently decided that, maybe I want to be an English major or something, and so I need to get my brain wired to analyze books rather just read everything as a guilty pleasure. So I thought this would be a good one to start with, even though it's spring. It's not really here. And it's so short. I'm really, really excited to read this.
Okay, the next book I picked up I've actually already read, and that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. Everyone has heard of this probably, but I have The Lair of Dreams in the same cover, so I wanted the first one to match it. And also, I really want Emmalynn to read this because it's set during the 20s, and Emmalynn loves the 20s.
The 20s and the 70s, polar opposites.
And so, the mixture of, like, 20s with paranormal, like, mystery, thriller, horror, I thought it was just, like, perfection. And something that I really liked about this book is they not only set it in the 20s, but that they also used a lot of vocabulary and, like, catchphrases that were, used during the 20s. So it just made it, like, much more believable that it was set in the 20s. But this follows a young girl who is kind of like a troublemaker, and so she gets sent to go stay with her uncle, I think. And he is, like, obsessed with, like, the occult scene. I'm pretty sure this is set in, like, it's in New York. I was thinking it was New Orleans. But, like, the occult scene specifically in the area and, like, the history of the New York occult scene. And he has, like, this museum about the occult or something. But she notices, like, things are starting to kind of turn dark in New York City, and there's, like, murders happening, and so she kind of finds herself investigating these things. Is there possibly, like, cultish tie-ins with what's happening? But, yeah, I really want to read the second one. I'm saving it for closer to Halloween, though.
Okay, next I have... This is so embarrassing. I don't know how many books there are in this series. I thought it was just 2, but now I think it might be 3.
I thought the third one just came out not that long ago.
No, that's a different thing.
The Chain of Gold series. What's that called?
Is not good.
That's not helpful.
I don't know how many there are. But they have the spines that I absolutely love.
And you have other ones that have those same spines, right?
Yes, I have Clockwork.
Yes.
Angel.
What are those called?
Is the first one.
Infernal Devices.
Yes. But this, I'm going to look this up or it's going to drive me crazy. It's honestly so hard to keep up with these books.
Because they, like,
for someone who hasn't read
over,
them.
but...
Yeah.
I don't know. There might just... I feel like there might just be 2.
Let's see. Oh, there's 3.
What is the third one called, then?
Queen of Air and
yeah.
Darkness.
When did that come out? 2018. What? I didn't know it was that long ago. I must be.
Well, now I need to find that one. But anyways, I really want to just get myself all the Cassandra Clare books, and then I can figure out what order you're supposed to read them
and then you have to see which Bookish boyfriend is your favorite.
Yeah, I need to rank them all or something. But I really don't know what order you're supposed to read all her books in.
I know you're supposed to read these first.
I thought you were supposed to read the Infernal Devices first, because it's
these
about
came
their
out
kids.
first. It depends if you're reading it in publication order or
not
like
that.
timeline order. I guess.
I want to read it in timeline order, but someone, if you know, please comment, or I'm gonna have to do some extensive
I'm sure
research.
she has a chart or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, the last book I picked up, I owned this a long time ago, and I let someone borrow it, and I never got it back, but I've wanted it ever since, because I think I only read the first couple of stories in this book. So this is a compilation of 5 stories about women in the Bible. So it is Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, Bathsheba, and Mary. And it just kind of looks at their lives in like a novel format, using scripture to tell their story. So I remember I really enjoyed the first 2. I don't remember why I loaned it out if I hadn't finished it, but that's what happened. And I've read several other Francine Rivers books before, but obviously Redeeming Love is her most famous, and I loved that book as well. But I'm excited to read this again. I'm just going to start completely over again, and yeah, it'll be a good time. That's everything.
Well,
I think we did good. We
self-control. I
did.
put things back.
Yeah. Also, bless their hearts, the little ladies at the library sale, one of them was like trying to get me to buy this book that she really wanted me to read, but she had never read it. I'm like, well, what's it about? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I haven't read this book. I've just read another book by this author. And I'm like, not helpful. And it was like, she was thick. So I was like, no.
Not today.
Not today.
But,
not today. Anyways, let us know if you've read any of these books. Help Emmalynn out with the order. Please. Maybe there's some controversy surrounding the order. So what order do you think is the best to read them in? Let us know.
It's a little intimidating, but you know, I think I can do it.
You can do it.
I've read all the Throne of Glass books except
You're
one.
You're going to need a recovery series after we finish Throne of Glass.
That's true. And these, I just feel like, are never going to end. Mm-hmm. Like, is she ever going to close out this world? I'm not really sure. I feel like if you create a world, why wouldn't you keep going with it? So, I hope other authors follow her example one of these days.
I know.
But, anyways.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like if you did. Maybe subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.